You are good to go.
No, hang on, let me just hit this button real quick. Why is my thing all jacked up? Okay, well, here we go. Hello, everyone. I want to thank AJ, Coach K, to letting me come to the 2024 Gun Spread Option Football Talks. I am Coach Anthony Stone. I am going to be discussing running jet sweep at any level. I am a big movie guy, so I did the Prestige movie, as you see right there. And I think the jet sweep has all about that, or anything with trickery when you do a play like this. The three acts of the Prestige, you've seen the movie. First comes the pledge. The magician shows you something relative to the ordinary, like a dove. The second is a turn. The magician takes a dove and makes it do something extraordinary, like disappear. Just like the jet sweep does. You can play action. You'll see that in the clips I have for you from high school and middle school. And then finally, the Prestige. The magician tops the disappearance and makes the dove reappear. So that is why I did that, is because at the end of the day, the jet sweep, or like anytime you're in the youth level, if you get to the ball to the outside, you're golden. I mean, give it to the fastest player, get the outside in high school and college. It's pretty much the same thing, just got to get it a different way. This is where I have been, or where I've worked for. These are the companies I have. I'm currently at the Big E, Rockford East in Rockford, Illinois. I'm coaching quarterbacks, and I was a JV and freshman defensive coordinator this past year. I was able to coach my son, that is now currently a freshman at the school, and yeah, that's those things. I want to talk about my company. It's Coach Stone Football. In 2017, in spring, I decided to combine my love for teaching and passion for football to create my company. My wife named my company. The purpose was my company was I created also books. Coach K has been promoting those, and he showed a picture of those earlier in the week. And I very appreciate everyone that's ever purchased a book. Remember, if you purchase one, please put a review on Amazon, and I'll definitely send you the bonus content from each of those books. I also do football camps where I teach skills and techniques to improve player confidence through basic skills while having fun. Fundamentals, like I always say, with the fun capitalized, it lays the foundation while utilizing the necessary skills set to become a better athlete. If you want to use the QR code, you can scan that. If you've never used that before, that's Linktree. I highly recommend every coach to get that, or when they present, definitely use that for your repertoire. I also want to thank all the coaches that have coached me as a player, or coached against me, or coached with me. Without them, I wouldn't be there today. So I would love, I want to say thank you so much. Shout out to AJ for letting me present here. Also, thank you very much, Coach. So here we go. The outline is very simple. If you have any questions, please unmute your mics, or if AJ hears it, just tell me about. If not, we'll do questions at the end. But you got the intro and the thank yous done. The FBI is coming up. Why run jet sweep? Tips on running the jet sweep. My CSF drill speed level we'll talk about. The power of the snap count. Jet running, because I think it's very important if you've never done it. The running back blocking is huge. I believe that's gigantic when you're running the jet sweep. Wide receiver blocking is equally important. The QB, the O-line basic, just the basic stuff of doing it. The equipment you can use, practice clips using tech pads. I highly recommend. If you did not get those ever, or you haven't seen those yet, you'll see them in the presentation. I highly recommend buying those. I have some good and bad plays in practice and out of practice. And I got putting it all together, counters off, clips off jet from middle and high school, and then the closing, and then a thank you. So if you could take one thing, or when anybody ever speaks, or when you go to Glazier, or you do all these other satellite coaches that are doing this stuff, just do me a favor. Take one thing back to your program. And this is one thing I love to do. This is what I do when I go see someone speak. What do you do now that is successful on one side of a piece of paper? And then what can you add to your football program realistically? I mean, you have some coaches selling systems that are like, oh, if you run my system, we can do this or this and this. It doesn't work that way most of the time. You got to make sure that You figure out your personnel first and then go from there. You can't just run spread if you have all 300-pound guys, if that makes sense. Okay, why the jet sweep? Well, it's a perimeter attacking play that makes the forces the defense to flow hard on a pre-snap motion. The jet sweep is a passing horizontal stressor for an offense. It's another way to get fast players the football besides your running back. I think that's very important to make a note of. So if you have two fast young kids at a youth level, and even if you don't want to go out of shotgun, because I always say it like this, if you're coaching a youth or middle school team, if your center cannot snap the ball back and he's snapping it over the head, then you got to go under center. And you still can run some of the stuff under center, and we can go over that if any coaches have any questions about that, or you can just reach out to me afterwards after listening to this. Blocking is a lot easier than you think. I know, like back in the day when I was coaching and we were just running the Bill Walsh West Coast stuff, and you ran toss, that wide receiver block looked like it took forever. In here, you'll see different ways that we've done it to make it easier for our players. It's to get a player in a running a full speed at the snap of the football, going towards the line of scrimmage. And I think that's very important. You can use the motion as a misdirection in the backfield, whether it's handed off or if the quarterback wants to keep it or run or pass it. Tips on running the jet sweep are very simple. Make sure you have more than one speedster to run jet sweep. So that means if you're running back and you have one other person, you need to find more people to do that. Because if your one player gets hurt, then you're going to be in trouble. Snap count is all about timing. This is a must. If you can't get the football to the ball carrier at full speed, wait until it's possible. I mean, you got to practice it. Decide right away. Have the quarterback do it all. That's what I personally like. Or you can have the receiver have it, play power to call it. I'll explain that later on, though. Make sure you go over every type of defensive front you could go against, from being in the box with a 3-5, 3-3-3 stack, 4-3, 4-2, 5-2, 6-1, all that stuff. Before you run jet sweep, make sure you're going over the items like the drill speedway, CSF drill speed level, and the CSF bar. I think those are very important. The CSF speed level, it's walking, jogging, all those things with equipment or without, and we'll go over that in a little bit. I have a lot more that goes in the new book that I had that came out last year, Volume 6 Coaching Secrets, and you can pick that up now on Amazon. So here we go. When I talk about the drill speed level, I came up with this a long time ago, and I think it's very important when you're doing drills or when you're running stuff. You first want to have everybody walk through it. I'm telling you right now, at the end of the day, when you do new stuff, walk through it. Walk through it and make sure you have a front or some kind of garbage cans in front of you so you can walk through it with on air or with manipulatives like garbage cans and things like that. And once you master that, then jog through it with air or with garbage cans or bodies. The zombies is a thing I call is you line up the offense. You can do this on any type. You can do this on defense too. What happens is if a defender is blocked and we have a 4-2 defense we're running, if a defender is blocked, then they start walking because they're a zombie. If that makes sense. I call it a zombie level because when I was little in the south side of Chicago, I don't know if you guys still play on Friday nights. Some teams do, some teams don't. We used to have those Thursday night Cowboys. And those Thursday night Cowboys always want to look good because they know what the play is coming. So if you have zombie mode, once they're hit, they have to start walking really slowly. Now, back in the day, it would be like, let's make the tackle and not get it, and it's just wasting rep. Full speed with the wrap is very important. And then game tempo, we all know what that is. This is something you can add to your coaching toolbox. So hopefully you got two things in here. Okay, the power of the snap count, I think, is very important, okay? If you have garbage cans, I would highly recommend lining them up, just like you see here. That's what the LTE and the LG is. And then how I do it is we will have players line up on one side. We'll have cones set up. And then what will happen is if you want to do this, you have to decide right away now. Do you want the receiver to call it? And that means when the quarterback says down, or whatever your snap count is, if it's a 3-word snap count, if they say like down, and then the receiver starts coming this way, and once they get to that red cone, they say set. As soon as they say set, you got to say whatever the other word is for the quarterback, and that ball needs to be snapped right now. Now, you don't have to do it that way. It's your choice. That's how I've seen it before run, and that's how I've ran it during a season or two. I like it when you give the quarterback full range of motion. That means it's always on the quarterback to make sure that ball is snapped right away. So that means as soon as that, before that person miss it, before that person gets to that right tackle, that ball needs to be set, and that needs ball snapped right now. So that ball should be snapped right either on top of the tackle or right before they touch the tackle. And the only thing I say is this: you got to go down, boom, point, like make sure everyone's down. Point. I like pointing. I don't like picking a leg up because that makes the quarterback weird because I'm a former quarterback myself. Point or head nod. Once that occurs, boom, down, point, set. And once they get that thing, boom, and you're going. And the kid's going 100 miles per hour. Okay. Once you go through one way, you flip it the other way. And what we usually do is we put a cone 10 to 12 yards past the line of scrimmage. So they run this and then they go. And if we have extra quarterbacks, they just come in here. We don't need this running back right now because we're going to use him later. So you can do indie time with somebody else. We can just need the quarterbacks and the wide receivers, or the quarterbacks and the running backs that run jet. Boom, that's all we need. Now, you need to understand this when you are jet running. You have to, number one, trust the blockers. That is the most important thing. And if you have a lot of people that always want to play wide receiver like it is, I did a camp recently and nobody wanted to play quarterback. Nobody wanted to play DB. All of them want to play receiver. So what we do is we put 2 rabbits out there that are not marked in front of the X and the Y, and we have them come downhill, go around, or whatever. Okay. How you do it is this. Okay. Hash number sidelines. So we have the cadence all done, right? Now we can add this to the repertoire. So once you have the cadence all done, you go into this next thing with the blocking, okay? You need to make sure that that H is trusting the blockers coming around. That is very vital when you are running jet sweep at any level, okay? If the Y has an angle like that, that is perfect. If you need to exit and the X to come down, and the X won't come this way, the X will come this way, if that makes sense, coaches. Because if you go like this, that outside force or outside dog, we call it, if they come down and you go this way, you're not going to get there. So you want to go there and meet them at a point. Okay. So you can block it different ways if you want. That's a great angle block, though, for that Y. It's super simple to hit. And you really don't have to attack them. All you got to do is go straight up the field. Because then eventually that dog is going to come straight down or it's going to come around. Okay. The X is going to be straight ahead on that and just wait for them to make a move. If they go inside, you block them inside. They go outside, you block them inside. But you're just pretty much doing a mirror drill. Like most wide receiver coaches, like they teach it all the time in EDDs. The H that is running this, the biggest thing is when you're done running it, okay, we should have plenty of footballs. Once you're done running it, any drill, you go to block, okay? The blockers become the rabbits then. The rabbits become the jet sweep people. Now, if these jet sweep people are only jet sweep people, then those H's have to become X and Y's. Those rabbits have to just become blockers then. So don't have anybody run the jet sweep. Only the people that you are going to entrust with that during the game is running the jet sweep. Okay? Those route running guys, those other people, they can be X, Y. We can throw with them. We can do all that stuff with them later on. Okay, just let the H's or whoever else is running the jet sweep run the jet sweep. It's very simple. When you run the jet sweep, you get the ball, boom, call the cadence, down, set, boom, full speed, gets it, closest arm up is to the quarterback, like we say, because he's your friend. You want to go hash number sideline. So when you see green, you turn up. So when you get that ball right there, you start running. If you see green, you turn up. Don't turn up inside. just turn up and get outside like it says where TD is, because that's where we're always trying to run to. Okay. If you don't see it at the hash, then go to the numbers. Once you see green, turn up field and you're going. If you don't see it again, then you turn up field once you do that. You want to get up the sideline and win the race, run like a banshee, I always say. But don't turn up too soon. Because if you're going full speed this way, horizontal, it's a lot harder to catch it. Okay. Another thing, every run you run on practice, on air, whatever, you're running for a touchdown. So that's 100% I would tell your players to do. Run to the sideline, act like you've been there before. Okay, now, running backs. It's very simple. It's a check, 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 okay? Check, 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 okay? You must, when you block this, and we're coming from right to left, when that ball snaps, even if you're in the pistol, I don't want to ever hear a coach say, my player, my running back can't go from the pistol to do what you have on this drawing. There's no way, coach. Yes, it is. Because if he wants to run the ball, he will get there. Okay? He will 100% get there. So it's possible. Okay? The most important block is the DN. If you don't get that DN blocked, you are asking for a lot of trouble. I've seen it happen many times. The lineman steps out. That DN's like a ghost 9 now. So if he's like a ghost 9, he's super wide, not like a 5 technique that we see here. But if he's really wide, that tackle will widen out with them. But you need to make sure that tackle tries to get on the outside shoulder. So that would be their right shoulder because they're facing us. I'm looking at you. If I'm trying to block them, I'm blocking their right shoulder because they're turned around. But if that old lineman can't get there, the job of the running back is to get on their right shoulder. Once they get on their right shoulder, 1,001, 1,002, the lineman should take over by the time. Then you go to the scraping linebacker. If the linebacker blitzes, even better. Then you just check up to the free safety, and it's check, check, check. And it's easy as that. And you'll see some things like that in the videos that we're going to show soon. Okay. Understanding alignments. I think this is very important for wide receiver blocking. Okay. For wide receiver blocking, it's very simple. You need to understand the different defensive alignments when it's going on. So are they lined up inside shade, outside shade, everything. How I teach surface or defenders is very simple. It's A, B, C, D. Find their alignment, the surface of the defender, what part you can hit the beat of it, contact, where you can contact them, and then drive for 5. If you cannot drive for 5, then you stalemate for 5. That's for 5 seconds, as long as they, don't hold on to it. You want to stalk, you want to crack, you want to X. So if we want to hit the Y to linebacker, X to that, we can then have the tailback that's right there go up to the corner. We'd call that black, white, things like that. Or you can just X block it like this. Okay. If I have an inside shade though, we're rarely X blocking it. But if they split the difference and they're apexing, I would definitely X block that block. Let the defender pick the side and take them there. So if they want to come straight down, let them come straight down. If they want to go outside, if that outside corner wants to go outside, then take them outside. Do not try to guess which way they're going. Once you guess, it's all out the door because you know what's going to happen. Okay, to the quarterback now. What you need to make sure is understand down and distance. Every quarterback should know that, okay? Make sure the ball is handed off no matter what. Make sure there's something going on. If there's a play fake at the line of scrimmage or pass, make sure also you're not lazy. So if you do your real jet sweep, make sure you're either going straight ahead like the orange is with the power read, or you're going the opposite side, or you're faking, or you're just running straight ahead, or you're setting up the pass. You will always want to do that. And then here's the other thing too. The people up in the box, if you're playing high school or college, they're going to see what the linebackers are doing, or they're going to see what the outside defenders are doing, the overhangs, and they're just going to go, hey, let's run, fake Falcon left and throw Florida, and hit number 2 or number 1 because they're going to be wide open, or hit the backside with the bastard route. Okay. But that's pretty much it with the quarterback. It's very important, though. The quarterback needs to make sure that the cadence is always the same. Because just like you see that H and those other two people behind them, there are three different speeds there. There could be fast, medium, and slow. There could be fast, faster, fastest. But just make sure you know who you have when you're running those jet sweeps. O-line, okay? This is the O-line for just the basic stuff. Like I said in my Coaching Secrets book, there's a lot more. Understand the defensive fronts. Right now you see a 4-2 look. They will attack laterally. So that means when they block, they don't just scoop. They're pretty much uppercutting, turning their body, shoulder. If we're going this way, this shoulder should be vertical to the line of scrimmage where we're trying to underhook the line coming through. We're trying to go to the next gap over if possible. The biggest thing is we don't want seepage. We want to make sure getting to the next level will come later. We do not want that guard to left guard to, like, if that center gets right now on that 2 technique, we don't want that guard all of a sudden going to that linebacker, because if he gets through, boom, it could mess up the play somewhat. And then don't your lineman, if the snap is perfect and it is a jet sweep, you should not have to block anything B gap related after the B gap. Just make sure you get to that A gap. Okay, that right tackle, if they reach good enough, that defensive tackle on the right, on the defensive left side that you see on the screen, that D tackle should not ever get to that jet sweep person ever. If they do, tell them to come to our school, because I would sign them right away. And then if they're not going to Division I, someone needs to get on them right away. All right, so here are the equipment. You see to the left on the top, I invented those a long time ago. Those are called the CFS towers. It was made out of gym floor tape. I had a bunch left over at my house. Now they're currently black. I love them to death. You can use them to tackle, and pretty much it's like the foam. I got the foam from like a tackle tube stuff, and that's how I made it. It's very, very, very awesome. I love them to death. You can stack them on top of each other. You can use them for defensive fronts, everything. They're great for tackling, all that stuff. But that's how we use our stuff there. The tech pad I was telling you on the right, those things are phenomenal. If you have not ever purchased these, I would highly recommend. You can do it to run over stuff. You know, your running backs run over them because they're taller than half rounds. But if you see, you can grab them just like you're taught, just like how God made shoulder pads where they're like this. You can grab right there, and that's phenomenal. I would use colored cones, make sure no one's colorblind. Mini notebook I would have too. iPhone to record stuff. You'll see that in a couple minutes. And then we have a practice script on the left side, and then behind that would have been the practice plan that you see there, where I took a picture of. All right, so here are practice clips. You see this with the garbage cans. You see me playing quarterback on the right side. You see us running scout right here. It's just like a mini group session, you know, and we have the defense lined up. You're seeing the defense in a 5, like a 5-2 look. And then you see the just going over a group of the receivers and myself. So you see them reaching and just keep running, keep running, keep running. So I think that's very important. You see the blocking, just get in front of it. You see us running for a touchdown on the left side here, and then boom. But if you look at how we do it, it's just like how you see the tech pad going from practice and then doing it in a game. So I think that's very important. Here are some good jet sweep plays. And just run away from people if you saw that guy. All that player did was run away from that person. Okay, here's a bad one. We're not sealing the edge. So when that guy reached, that guy should have saw green and went right up the field. Same play. Now he reads them, then he goes back outside, and then he scores. All right, so here's an actual game. It's an actual playoff game at our home field. This is a favorite formation of all time is a tight end wing to 2 receivers. I really like this. When we're running this now, we're putting it all together. So if you see this here, where the little cursor is, he's probably going to take him. If like he's already telling him what we're going to possibly do. If you see he's about head up, so if he gets him all the way and he comes there, and you get him, or these both get him, then it's 1-2. It's 1-2. Okay. If he blocks down and takes him out, and this guy keeps coming through like we probably have here, if I remember this play correctly, he goes here. I mean, honestly, you're cooking with gasoline here. Boom, motion. He comes down, he blocks. Boom, you're already off and running. And that one guy wants no part of him, and we're off into the end zone. Okay, here's more of them. Different. This is the same, different play. That's the first play you saw in the tight. This is the tight version. Another one. See how he slows down there? I don't like that, but that kid, he was so fast. I mean, it didn't matter. He could go 0-60 in no time. See how the quarterback's bringing him over? That's perfect right there. So we had our guy miss, and he still is just outrunning people because he's so fast. He's run from a distance. Hopefully they zoom in. I don't think they do on this one, but runs in for a touchdown. See the thing you saw right there? The quarterback was moving with him, and that was important, I think, because it held up the backside for a second. There's that extra block, like I told you at the end. You saw the top of the receiver, that number one receiver had that good block. We just waited for the kid. Different out of formation with no movement, and this guy's just going. Like, you can't even stop him there if you saw that. There's your green, and then go. Go a little more, see what we have at the end. And we have this from every team we play against. So look at that. There's some seepage there, but he just keeps running, stays on his feet, and then it's a foot race. Who wants it more? Eat the grass, keep going. Boom. If anybody wants the full video, because I skipped about 3, 4, 5 minutes of it, you're more than welcome to email me and I can send it to you. There's a whole different team. Going to the left now. There's that green, and just go and then go back out, and you're in. Seven zero, we're up. And now we're up 14. Blocks at the end or lost the linebacker, and he walked right in. Okay, so here are some counters off jet sweep. We run it so much, we have counters off it. So if you watch this, we're going to put a guy in motion, and boom, we're just going to run power read at the quarterback. Pulling the left guard, and then we're off and running.
He's not reading that then. That's automatic called pre-snap, right?
That play right there was probably a automatic, but we do have a read off it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So it matters what you're going to do. So here, if it's called like we call Falcon read or something, that's that. But if we call it something different, then it's automatic. This that's Stark's running it, so he's reading that.
Okay.
But in this play, if you look at it, see how wide that D end is? That means it's gonna be wide open up the butt.
Yep.
So that's what we do there. So right there, that was definitely a keep all the way. You'll see one where he reads it, and then he like I don't know if I have this one, but he runs it for like 80 yards. Oh, it's right here, this play. So this one's a read. So he can read this. So I thought I'm sorry, our head coach thought he handed it off. I knew he was going to just wrong. I knew he was going to keep it here. So, and this guy is not that fast. He's probably 5 flat. Don't get mad at me, Starks, but he's probably 5 flat. Running away from people, he's probably 4-6 though. So here's the counter. This is a read up. This is his read. He sees that DN come all the way up. He's gone. Now, he does slow down like when he gets to about 3-yard line. I told him never slow down. And then we usually put that play in probably like after week 4 when I was with this team. We wouldn't put that in right away. There's another counter off it. This is probably a handoff now. Boom. Oh no, same thing. Quarterback, different quarterback now. Just running through. There's another one. See how the running back bounces? We usually tell them to open their arm up because when you open your arm up, it looks like you're coming at the guy. That Division I player decided to just bounce, and we were fine with that. This is a middle school clip. So, AJ, you asked for a read, right? This is a 100% read with my son. So my son knows as soon as the motion occurred what he was going to do with it. So he knows he's keeping it right up. I told him either give it or keep it. It's 4th and 12. I should have taken the volume off, but my wife loves it when she yells at it. So they already are both coming over. Like we had 2 people following him, and he's just running for the first down. And now he weighs like 40 pounds more than that now today. Okay. So then I'm going to mute this one. So like this one now is, so I would recommend every coach that runs jet sweep to incorporate this play. And I'm going to tell you right now, you can't stop it. Okay. And I know people are going to be in the comments, oh, yes, you can. Oh, yes, you can. No, you really can't, because if you run the bastard route where you run just like that at the line of scrimmage, and if you want to press it, then you go a slug go, and the guy's still going to be wide open. Okay. So every time we run jet sweep, this year, this is the 8th grade year. This is last year, him playing quarterback. And then this is when we were at the high school, the same year we put this in. If that dog came over, quarterback can throw it right now, every time. Every time. So I'm on the sidelines. You don't see me. I think you might see me start running because I'm calling this. And I'm setting guys up how we have it. They know this guy's going to run the jet sweep every time when we put him there. So we're hoping this guy right here in the white follows him. If he does that, he knows he's throwing right to this guy for a touchdown every time. Boom, he doesn't even do the fake. And then he's off and running. Like I said, this is 8th grade. The team in the orange, that was the first loss ever. You know, I think that's the only, they lost twice that year. And then we beat them to have a playoff game. We thought we were going to get a home playoff game, but we didn't. And that's me in my little red coat right there, because I want to wear something different, not because of the ego or anything. I don't know if you coaches are like this. Brighten yourself up, the kids will see it. Also, my son's colorblind. As a quarterback, I'm telling you right now, that's extremely hard. Well, I was going to get VR for him, and then I met Play Our Book. If you guys have not know that, or AJ might, I would definitely look into Play Our Book. It is phenomenal, like phenomenal quarterback training for your phone, and it's so much cheaper than VR. Here's more counter things with the high school. Fake, give, boom, go. So that play right there is fake it, and then we're giving it. So we're actually not reading that at all. This is fake the jet, give the ball to the running back, or throw the ball. And then when we're throwing the ball, quarterback's got to read it with the guy what they're doing. That's St. Rita. That team's won state champions over and over again over the years. A very, very good team. Playing at their home field. A lot of players versus not that many of us. Fake give. Just start running through. Wish he would have kept running straight, though. He decided to turn upfield. He's not that fast. The hard thing you got to remember, too, when you do a jet sweep fake, always remember you have that check down. And that's what he did there. The line was not blocking correctly, so he just got out there and threw it to the back. Threw it to the jet sweep guy. Run through the hole. Zero high. See you later, alligator. That was a touchdown.
Coach, do you guys see a lot of cover zero?
Oh yeah. What do you mean on this team? This team right here, yes, we saw a lot of cover zero.
Yeah, just all season long.
They would love to show the too high shell, you know what I mean? But then it just turned into cover zero. That makes sense.
Yeah, because with our jet sweep play, same thing, but we just read one of the D linemen. But if we see two safeties, they're rock rolling to try to stop that jet sweep. They're gonna have someone come in and try to fill it from the safety position. Or we'll get cover zero.
To the jet sweep, right? They're kind of
Yeah.
blitzing to the jet sweep. Yeah, that's when you throw it right over the top like we do. And
Yeah.
if they do that, and then they bring the safety over, that's why that bastard route, if you've never run that before, or the bastard and go, because they want to jump the bastard, because you'll complete the bastard every time, right? That is just phenomenal. I mean, but you got to practice that. You can't just like, oh, I'm going to throw the bastard route every time. You got to practice that and practice. And then I will ask the quarterback, Connor, he's really good. I don't think he's in any of these clips, or Stark never threw the bastard. I would say, hey, is it open? Yeah, it's open. I want to throw it, but just run the play so we can see the blocking, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we do the same thing.
I love this formation. Yeah, I love this formation. This is one of my favorites. Like it's wide open right there. You saw that bastard route right there, but he didn't throw it. Once you get somebody in like a 3-by-1 look, they got to show their coverage. That's that play we showed earlier with the tight copper. We just checked it down to the guy. But yeah, that's a good question. I mean, this game right here, you're seeing here, they probably got 5 Division I players on this field right now. And their one player that was a running back went to, I think, Michigan, but they're only to it. Let me skip ahead a little. These are some of the tight copy versions. That's him running the long one. That's a really good game right there. See that guy coming down right now? Then we'll just block him. I think they do it again. Now here they got 5 height. We're going to run that ball. Get outside. They can eat the grass. Boom. So when I was at this place, I did quarterbacks and running backs. So they would always be together to do all this stuff too. I don't know if you guys do that at your places. I recommend that, especially if you once your quarterback you can trust, they can run your indie time or your warm-ups for your quarterbacks by themselves. And then you can do the other stuff with the running backs like eat the grass, the blocking assignments, filling in for pass protection, things like that. I got a couple more plays and then I think I'm done. Any questions at all from coaches? No questions?
Not from us.
All right.
We run
Uh,
a bunch of it. So
Oh, good, perfect. So here's my new little template, I call it, for my books. I just wanted to show this to you. These the top ones are the All Sports Tackle Bar, the Mom's Edition. Clinic notebook is if you go to Glacier or even doing this clinic, you could have wrote down the notes for like that. I got a strength conditioning book. I think you have Coach K. I think you have Mike Fields tomorrow, right? We got the book coming soon. It's
hold on,
the
I'm gonna
one
go-
right on the bottom.
I'm gonna go grab them real quick. Hang on.
Like Mike Fields and me are writing a book called Offensive Playbook. That's pretty much what you saw today with the jet sweep. And then we're going to do the other stuff. And then I have my flag books, my tackle books there, and then my quote books, and then coaching tool books, DIYs where you run your stuff in. So that's for anybody that wants them. They're all on Amazon. So you can get them there or you can get them on Kindle. I want to thank everybody for attending the session. My session. If you want to send me film after you watch this, please do so. You can send it to my email or send it to Coach Stone Football for any other football resources you want, and just tell me how it goes. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So,
I've got
the green one. That's the first one.
Back to the Basic Football Drill Manual.
Yep, 581 pages.
Guys, I got
83 pages, I believe.
I got that one. I got volume 4.
Tackling and turnovers.
Got that one.
Yep.
I got volume 3, Special Teams.
That won an award for a best book of the year. It's like 5 years running.
And then
So any special teams coordinators, that would be a good book for you. Volume 1, yeah.
this one taught me how to write a mission statement for our offense, so I did that.
Appreciate that.
and the clinic book.
Oh, yep, there it is. Yep.
And then probably one of my favorite ones too, because none of you
Oh,
guys, we don't
volume
talk
2
a lot of
defense.
defense, but this one actually tells you on how to select your defense and what to look for.
Yep.
So
Yep. And a little story behind that. All those books, one, like, even though it's 5 of them, the green books doesn't, I don't count the green book as one. My flag books, I did it opposite. But that green book, when what was it called? Oh, not KDP. What was it called? It was something where you could only write up to 600 pages. So that's why volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4 were already done, because the book was going to be 1,000 pages big.
oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So when I first started, I was going to write a Bible, and I'd be like, I'm done writing. But then I wrote volumes, and then I wrote, because my son was coaching, I was coaching my son in flag, and I just wrote flag football books, and those things have sold like wildfire. Flag football books. I'm amazed how many I've sold of those.
Yeah, and
So
but you did say you did do the player book that did help you.
which one? I'm sorry.
The player book, that one that you were asking me about with Matt
Oh,
Laster, that
the
app,
Mike Field one.
the app.
Oh, the Play Art book. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to tell you right now, if any coach is listening, you need to go to playourbook.com. And I'm telling you right now, I don't care. And I apologize, VR, for saying this, or whoever's selling VR. If you have a kid like my son is colorblind and he's a quarterback, VR does not help that. It causes headaches. The cost it's super expensive. I don't know if you guys agree with that. VR is
Yeah.
super expensive. Do I think VR is the way of the future? Yeah, probably, right? But at the end of the day, for my son that's colorblind, when he puts that on, it's great and dandy, and it might have like the filter and stuff. When he takes it off, like he had headaches and stuff.
Gotcha.
So I was looking for something to do it with Play Our Book. All you need is a cell phone. How many kids have a cell phone?
Everyone.
Yeah. And if you have a VR thing, like say if this is VR, then you only have one of these. Because I don't know how expensive are those Meta Quest things, like $300?
Well, yeah, they've come down, but because I thought the Oculuses were 500 before, so yeah. But I mean,
Yeah,
they're
I mean,
expensive.
every kid has a cell phone. Every kid nowadays has a cell phone.
Yep.
Okay,
What is
maybe I'm wrong.
what's the site?
Playourbook.com.
Like the letter?
Play R with the letter and then book.com. And what you do is, the one thing I would tell coaches when you play with it, and I'll open it up right now. And I just had my 5-on-5 come out for Matt, but it's a little 6 sign right there. I don't know if you can see that right
Yep.
there. But you click on that, and it
And
comes up.
it's
So
free.
what I would do, it's free. Like you get like some stuff for free, right?
Yep.
If you want to buy like the air raid system that Matt has, that's like $50, but it's
Yep.
$15 a month. Yep. You got it right there. But
I
like
got
if
it
you
too.
do it, I'm not lying to you. Like that's what it is. You can do a video or something, like, or a playbook, like in my flag one, my 5-on-5, my 6-on-6 coming out probably the end of the month. And then you can ask questions like, is it 1 high, 2 high, all that stuff. And then the only thing, see, it tells you ask that at times a kid, and then you'll get your own thing. And what I recommend you do is when you play with it, use your fingers. Don't use your thumbs.
Okay,
When
because
you
I
use
was
your
having a tough
thumbs-
time with my thumbs.
Yes. Don't do your thumbs.
Okay.
Use your fingers, and if you throw it to the right person, I'm not lying to you. They'll throw it, it'll throw.
Yeah.
If it throws it in the dirt or you go around in circles, that means you're throwing to the wrong person.
Yep.
And then you'll get hit.
Yeah,
You know, I really like it. I mean, I could show you the data because I have it for my son doing it. And then it shows like the play and stuff. I think it's phenomenal.
I have Matt coming on because me and him, we did a 5-part seminar with just offense in general and combining our offenses, which we are going to do this year. We are going to go air raid concepts. But I do have him coming on. He's my last speaker that I have coming on in a couple months. So
save the best for last.
So I have.
Yeah, I would definitely, if you haven't yet looked at it and you're thinking about doing VR, because nowadays, what does VR have? They have the R4 or something, right? That's for that it, right?
I don't even know actually on that.
I know Kenny's got something out there, but at the end of the day, you got to buy the VR, and then you got to buy their program. So
Yeah.
you're already spending $700, and you don't know how much that stuff. Like, I'm not saying you're only going to get 10 plays. If
Yep.
you're only going to get 10 plays for $500 after you buy the VR. What's the point? At least with this thing, you could do the only thing that this doesn't do. It doesn't do motion. It doesn't do handoffs. You can do power read with it though. I learned to do that.
Yep.
You can do RPO with it.
Yep.
You know, and it's only $15 a month. You know, I think that's pretty amazing.
Yep.
So
Yeah, it took off for him. That's why me and him we were going to do a couple more radios, but it was taken off. He got so busy with it that we just had to stop doing our webinar series. So it was good. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to stop the recording before you go with.
Sure.
Thank you, Coach Stone.
Thank you.
Come on.